I grew up Catholic. I identified as Christian. For the last decade or so, I have said that I'm a believer, so I believe in grace.
I would identify myself as a Muslim.
I identify as a Buddhist, as my parents are, the same religion.
I was raised as a Catholic, but I wouldn't say I practice the religion closely.
I don't necessarily acknowledge like any one set higher power or any one set like afterlife or anything. I just kind of just like sort of like an energy. Yeah, so I guess I'm just very spiritual. Yeah.
So I'm Muslim. My family's also Muslim, so I just like grew into it,
Spiritual and atheistic.
So I do identify religiously as Hindu, but right now I am more spiritual than I am religious. Observant and curious person.
Just that curiosity.
I think of it also as a sense of wonder.
I think I have a sense of maturity that I had when I was a child, just growing up, I would say, too fast. That's more beneficial to me now, but also could have been detrimental to my childhood, as I couldn't always be a child.
My child me loves stories, and I still love stories. My whole life is about stories.
I like to think that I am my childhood self.
I guess still dreaming. When I was a kid, I always wanted to be successful, and I guess that's still stuck with me to this day. For me, I have a goal that I want to achieve, and unless I put in that work, I'm not gonna be able to achieve it.
What's that?
Get money.
Get money.
Make it easier for especially my mom, because she made so much sacrifices for me. Just I'm basically doing it mostly for her.
The closeness of my family.
Being part of a close-knit family.
No matter what arguments that you might have with others, you can count on them.
Love, for me, it's not all that passionate, because when I feel that much passion for something, I get scared. Love, for me, is deeply reflected through family, and particularly actions. I would say, coming from my household culturally, we're not a household that usually tends to say, I love you a lot, but a lot of that energy is definitely reflected through actions.
I think of my family, especially my mom, just seeing that she was more of an act of service type of person. She had to work extra hard to feed us, clothe us.
I love animals, I love trees, and I love just going out and feeling like I belong.
With me, I've moved a lot, so a big thing has always been trying to find a place that I can kind of call home.
Home, especially my mom, how she raised 7 children by herself, and then equally treated everyone the same. So it's when I think of love, it's just the love my mom gave all of her children. Different types of genres help people cope with how they feel in moments such as sadness or something. So
I love music growing up, and Dad always talked about how at the Romanian family reunions, I would get up on the table and dance.
It's something that comes from deep within, and it makes me feel really good.
There was this one time I was with my best friend, Andy. I went over to his house in really bad shape one day, and he just kind of sat me down, talked to me for a little bit, and then just played me some of his favorite music. And yeah, just kind of that entire night is what I think of when I think of love.
Okay, so my senior year especially, I listened to a song called... I'm trying to remember the song, but I forgot. Can I pull it up? Yeah, I forgot what the song was. It was it just... Good Old Days by Macklemore. Every single time I listen to it, it just takes me back to my senior year, so it's very nostalgic.
Right now, Alex G, yeah, I'd say Alex G right now, probably Let It Go. Yeah.
Flight of the Bumblebee by Rachmaninoff. It's very quick. It's very steep in musical power, and I really feel like powerful after I listen to it. I'm like, let's go.
I would say being an example to my younger sisters.
I think as the role of like a younger sibling looking up to their older sibling and seeing how they've turned out as a person and wanting to be like them.
She is 4 years older than me. Her name's Leah, and she really helped to raise me. So she was so excited when I came along, and she taught me to read.
I'm the older sister, so I have to set an example.
Wanting to hold the same values and same actions as them.
And if I feel like I'm doing something that I wouldn't be comfortable telling them, then I probably shouldn't be doing this thing. So
walking through life, I want to do it, to nearly the same way that she has done it.
Her daughter said something interesting. She said that the closest to unconditional love that Leah shows is with me.
I would say compassion is personalized, depending on what someone needs and what you can give them.
When I helped one of my friends, like accomplish something they wanted, for example, one of my friends, I helped them with just something casual, just like helping them with their resume when I was younger. And it was just like, even though it was small, it
doesn't necessarily have to be some kind of big, extravagant.
They appreciated it. That just made me it just made me feel good about myself, you know what I mean?
Having empathy, having consideration for the people around you, whether it's a stranger or your best friend in the world.
My first car, it had a lot of issues. During one winter, it broke down in a lonely road and I felt scared. My phone was dying. This dad and his son got out of their car and helped me push it to a safer place. And then they checked in with me, asking if I felt okay.
Again, when I was in a really shitty mood, and my dad kind of picked up on that. And he just kind of was okay, let's go on a road trip to Maine. And so we did, and it was super great. And just the entire time,
I was crying, but not because I was scared anymore, because I just felt so grateful to these people for helping me. It gives you a faith in humanity, that there are still people willing to help others, and I think that's a beautiful thing.
Being there to the fullest extent that you can for people. And I mean, sometimes you can't, and that's okay.
But as compassion to yourself, you wouldn't go past that to the point of neglecting yourself for other people.
You really have to push yourself to, be in a better place for yourself.
In order to give other people the best of me, I have to be able to maintain the best of me.
Take time for yourself.
Yoga or taking a walk, something that gets me out of my big head.
Be compassionate with the struggles that you go through, with everything that you go through, and realizing that you are enough, and we will be up tomorrow.
So a part of Buddhist philosophy is, the first noble truth specifically, is that suffering is a very vital and essential part of life.
With hardship comes ease, and there's a verse in the Quran, Inna ma'al usri yusra, and it translates to verily, with hardship comes ease. So just knowing that it'll always get better, even if I'm down now, I won't always be down tomorrow.
And I have been noticing that I've been trying to shift my thoughts when I start to ruminate or awfulize, just shift my thoughts to what am I grateful for right now?
Thinking that, today might not be a good day, but that doesn't mean that tomorrow won't be a better day.
You can never have life without suffering. And, well, if you do, then is it really life? Without experiencing that kind of emotion, you wouldn't be able to experience joy or happiness, love, all that kind of stuff, whatever it means to you.
Love.
Love, just love.
Love. Well, the beautiful thing about love is that it's just flowing out and it never ends. And so I can always just find that within myself and around me and in the world.
Grace may be the universe, but it's a binding, uniting presence that is available to all of us.
So one of the hardest decisions I've ever had to make, I think, was to look at myself and say to myself, I am a flawed human being, and that's okay.